Hi everybody, Dr. Hill here from Advanced Animal Care Berea, and today we're going to be talking about pain management in our dogs.
Great. So Dr. Hill, what is the difference between acute and chronic pain in dogs?
Yeah, so the term acute goes to anything that's happened recently. So I kind of think of that, anything that's maybe happened in the last 2 weeks. And then chronic is what we refer to for more long-term issues. So it's been going on for maybe weeks, months, or years. So maybe the best way to kind of put that into an example is your dog was running around in the yard and maybe stepped funny and now they're limping. That would be an acute pain. Versus maybe you have an older dog at home and they have some arthritis or degenerative joint disease and have some discomfort from that. That would be considered more like a chronic pain.
So how quickly should I bring my dog in if I suspect they are in pain?
So of course, here in Advanced Animal Care Berea, we are very big proponents of pain management. We definitely don't want any pet being uncomfortable. So my recommendation for whether it's acute or chronic, if you feel like your pet's uncomfortable, we would love for them to get on some sort of pain management regimen so that we can get them as comfortable as possible.
So what are some signs and symptoms of pain in dogs?
Yeah, so some of the, obvious ones might be limping, might be favoring a leg. If they're maybe uncomfortable due to, maybe there's a cut or something, sometimes they'll lick it and nurse it or chew it or guard it. Sometimes it's maybe more subtle, like they're just not feeling themselves. Their personality is kind of diminished. Sometimes they can be lethargic, sometimes they're not eating, or even sometimes it's things like they're panting a lot more than you feel like they used to. That can be a sign of discomfort. Maybe they're getting up and shifting and turning around and just can't seem to lay down and get comfortable.
Are human pain pills like Tylenol or Advil okay to give my dog?
Yeah, so we definitely don't recommend giving any human pain medication. And the reason for that is that these guys have a really hard time metabolizing human pain medications like Advil or Tylenol, Motrin, things like that. And what happens is because they really can't metabolize it, it builds up to toxic levels in their system, and it can cause organ failure in some cases. And it's a very sad case when we see a patient that's gotten into maybe some human pain meds and they have some definite side effects from that. So we definitely don't recommend giving any of those to your pet.
So what are the medications used for pain management?
Yeah, so we have a couple of different options out there or multiple different options out there for dogs. We kind of think of some pain medications being in like the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory class. So kind of like Advil or Tylenol, but these are designed to be safe for these guys and easy to metabolize. And so in that class, we have things like meloxicam or Metacam. We have Gabapentin, and we have things like carprofen. And so we use those quite commonly in pets. And then we also have some pain modalities or management like Gabapentin, or if they're here for surgery, sometimes we use things like hydromorphone, or there's even sometimes we use things like Tramadol to manage their pain. So there's definitely options out there that are safe for these guys, and sometimes we use a combination to get them as comfortable as possible.
So can a veterinarian help me manage my dog's chronic pain?
Yeah, so I honestly feel like I see probably 50% acute pain and 50% chronic pain. And a lot of times what we tend to see is like the biggest proponent of chronic pain in dogs tends to be arthritis or degenerative joint disease. We tend to see it in our older guys. And so my first pain management kind of option for those guys is actually getting them on a joint supplement. And I really like Ficox Max for that personally. But the great thing about a joint supplement is it's gonna do things for that joint that just a pain medication alone can't do. So it helps with the joint cartilage, it helps with the joint fluid, it helps to reduce some of the inflammation in that joint. So it really helps those joints that are having trouble. And then a lot of times I will combine those with, maybe something like the Gabapentin, or if it's a small dog, something like Metacam. And then we can always add in something like Gabapentin if needed. But there's definitely a ton of options out there to make sure that we can keep your pet comfortable.
Where's the best place for me to get pain medication for my dog?
So I'm always going to recommend that you either get it directly from your veterinarian or you used one of their approved online pharmacies. So really prescription pain medications for these guys are going to be the best. Of course, a lot of joint supplements, you can buy that over the counter. But we really don't recommend the over-the-counter doggy aspirin that's labeled because it can have some unwanted secondary side effects to it. So we really recommend anything that's only recommended by your vet.
All right, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.